Can you see your bar? You have to give. Yeah. Check yourself. Okay. Can you see your? Can you see your bar moving up and down when you're talking? Oh, okay. Well, that should mean you're not mute. You're not. Well, no. If you muted, the bar wouldn't move. Yeah. Sweet. Yay! Sounds always good. Aye. It's fine. It's what happens on live streams. Never did better. Okay, welcome everyone to Sprayblack's stream. Rich, is a ghost apparently, or just a mute. I can hear him fine, so I can basically translate for Rich. So, Rich, would you like to say something right now?
Yes, just hello. All the usual, the hellos.
Rich says you all smell.
I'm not sure that's an accurate translation. Right,
Yeah.
Let's try this.
She'll see if I can hear you, because I've got the thing. I can hear you.
Yes, just hello. All the usual.
Everyone can hear you, dude.
Ah.
I can hear you on the street.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Restart. We're only 10 minutes in. Okay, so, hello everyone, and welcome to Sprayblack Live, again, attempting some regular live streams. So, as you may have noticed, I have the very handsome Mr. Elstonation, who is currently translating for me,
Oh, God.
and currently drinking a cup of tea, the most important part.
And just to get this in before everyone starts, because it will probably happen. Okay, I'm done.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm glad you added that to the conversation.
That's what I'm here for.
So, Mr. Elston,
Hello.
what have you been up to recently?
Painting lots of things. I must admit this before we carry on, because it could affect things. I am massively sleep deprived.
That's not like you.
Monstrously sleep deprived right now. I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't get back to sleep. I went back. I managed to nod off for about an hour, and then I woke back up again. And I've been awake ever since.
Oh.
So I've gone this almost 24. I had about 5 hours sleep in total. So I went through the laggy part. I came out of the crazy part. Then went laggy part. Just had some dinner. A little bit laggy. Now I'm back into crazy. Sure, after this though, it's sleep.
Is that why you're filling yourself up with caffeine now?
That's basically it. Like, I've got that. It's gonna last me however long this goes, and then it's night.
Crash.
Yeah. So, just to get that in. Right. What have I been working? I've been painting Ogre Kingdoms for Warhammer Fantasy because I'm on a bit of an old school kick with Warhammer Fantasy. My mates taught me it, and I'm really enjoying the game. So I'm currently painting the fun part of it, which is all the big beasties.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, that looks fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but so that's what I'm working on right now.
Important question though. Square bases or round bases?
Square.
Correct answer. Correct answer.
So let me show you. I've painted a pirate. Hang on, let's bring it back into the. Hang on, let's.
Oh, I love that model. I love that miniature.
Pirate one. The best part about him is this parrot is actually a Noblar.
Oh, really?
It's a Noblar. It's not a parrot. It's a Noblar with his arms crossed. He's wearing a cloak, and he's got like a thing, like his nose is painted, so it looks like a beak.
Oh, I love that. You need to send me a picture of that, like a proper photo, later on.
I will, as soon as I've got yeah. Actually, no, I can do. Oh, yes. Look, I got another thing as well. Check this out. I got a big fat lens.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Sigma.
I mean, that looks heavy.
Yeah, Sigma 1.8 18, but it's yeah, it's a
big beastie.
Yeah, it does awesome. It's crazy awesome stuff. So yeah, I'm having fun with that. And yeah, I am currently in the process of watching my new man cave grow.
How long? How long's it got left?
Probably a couple of weeks until I can start doing my fun part. So that's kind of it. That's kind of it. And then I get to design my own workbench. It's gonna be like a 3-meter long workbench, and I'm gonna have paint racks up to the ceiling. It's gonna be glorious.
So that was the best bit about my current surroundings. We had a completely blank canvas of a room that the missus said, yeah, we can turn it into a study, turn it into a crafting room. So the entire back wall behind the camera here is just one big long bench all the way down, and it's got my half and her half. Just at the moment it's turned into my half and my half.
Nice.
So
how long is the bench?
what are we? It's probably about 2.5 meters.
Okay.
So obviously computer takes up a good chunk of it, takes up almost half of it, or at least the monitor.
Yeah.
But as I've got here, I've got obviously all my painting stuff, got a camera up above, all set up ready for tutorial filming. And then currently to my left is just a massive mush of Chaos Demons, assorted cups from where I've had cups of tea over the last couple of days and forgotten to take them downstairs, and camera stuff. So it's obviously very tidy.
Yeah, it's not very much similar to what I'm intending. Yeah, really. Yeah. What I'm trying to figure out is my new man cave is like obviously 4 walls. It's a room because I'm not a masochist and like having round rooms or anything like that. It's just
No.
I'm trying to basically figure out the best orientation because I basically want the bench to run the entire length of one wall, and it's about 3 3¾ meters.
Okay.
So yeah, but I want to have like these IKEA Calyx cube things going on, and I'm like, yeah, exactly like that. But I want the bench to like run, so you know the bars that go in between them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that as they separate. I want the bench to match up perfectly with one of those bars. So I've got things underneath as well.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like use the IKEA designer and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this right. I realize it's complete folly because as soon as I try and attempt something like that, it's not gonna go well. So yeah, there'll be bodge jobbing everywhere. But yeah, IKEA's really fun to play.
IKEA's amazing. So my desk here is 2 IKEA worktops, probably for the best way of saying it, with 3 trestles. So like the A-frame trestles, so one on each end, one in the middle that I have bodged together, basically drilled straight through it, bolted it all together, and it works gloriously. There's a gap probably about 3-4 inches at the either end of it, so I can get cables and stuff down there. Perfect, absolutely perfect. So I love IKEA, and it didn't cost much either, which is obviously the best part of it.
Yeah. Nice, cool. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing mine. But that's not why people are here. They're here talking about our man cave.
It might be. We don't know.
Sure, in the chat, do you want to hear us talking about our man
caves
more? And that's not a euphemism.
Yeah, that's a very different stream, that. On a very different website.
Yeah, definitely a fans only. Definitely. Like, welcome to my man game. Oh dear. Yeah, obviously we've turned the conversation that way.
Obviously. I mean, we've managed 18 minutes without talking about Future Man yet, so, you know. Despite the,
Glory Warfare. I need to go back and rewatch that. Right, it's so bad.
You really do.
I was trying to promote it to the Australians when it was on Knights of Dice live stream.
I did see.
Thank you for bringing that up. It led me in nicely into it. I was like, oh, so you want to know something amazing? And yeah, it's as soon as you give them the description of any part of that show, it just makes it so appealing.
Yeah.
Like, just so appealing.
I think it's just because it's just so utterly ridiculous. It just, like, tweaks people's curiosity. That, like, really?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly that.
A herpes lab?
Yeah, possums ejaculating. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I found an online cartoon that's on YouTube. What's it called? Hell Louver or something like that. It's weird. It's about these imps from hell, and they have to go up and like kill people for a job and stuff.
Okay.
It's absolutely right up our street. I've got it. I just binge watched it as soon as I found it. I can find you links later.
I will stick it on the list.
It is definitely, most definitely, not for anyone under the age of 18. Like, yeah.
I mean, that is my favourite sort of show, so...
Yeah, very much so. How many Daemonettes have you got to do?
So, to actually build, I've got 20 in front of me. I have just painted 10. Just finished painting 10. And just finished the base in literally 5 minutes before coming on stream for those. Yeah. So they just need attaching. But yeah, in total, I've got a month to paint up Be'lakor, 6 Fiends, a Keeper of Secrets, 30 Daemonettes. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and Infernal and Rapturous, you know, the one playing the harp. The harp made out of the dead guy.
Okay, so are you turning into me for the month by chance? Because that sounds like a lot to do.
Well, yes and no.
Right.
Because that is a lot to do, but I've also got to try and keep doing it to the level of Celeste that I painted up the other week. So
Okay.
it's essentially just going to be me sticking a lot of hours into painting. So less say speed painting, more just sitting here at this desk painting like crazy.
Are you going to do the Elston technique of waking up super early to get the Elston?
Quite possibly. Or I tend to be the night owl. Yeah, so I tend to be
Everyone is apart from me.
until midnight or until 1 o'clock watching hockey or something like that.
Yeah. I like to think that I've got the right way of doing it because I'm more productive than most other people.
I feel like yours is more sensible.
Yeah, it's sensible, but it's not sensible. Waking up at like 4:30 every morning to paint minis is like, it's not exactly sensible, is it?
No, I mean,
But
it's just too early.
Is it better than staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning?
I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, my only argument that I can say from my side of things is when you wake up early, you only get better. If you work later, you do get worse because you get tired. So
that is a good point.
That's my only argument, which I'm like, that's the reason why I get up, because I am rubbish in the evenings.
You just don't work. I literally don't switch on that early in the morning, so we'll see. All right. Oh, welcome to Stream Pretzel. Dropping in. Another one of our chilling Wargamers buddies.
Yeah.
And a local to me. Managed to get him his first game a few weeks ago. First game 40k. And he absolutely smashed it. Playing against boring Necrons.
Boring Necrons. Yeah, they are boring.
They are very boring.
They're really easy to paint as well. Like, really, like if you only want, like I've done a big Necron army, and I'm not overly like, you know, sometimes you sit back and you think, God, I've just painted it. Like that's a lot of models. I really,
Yeah.
You did it with the Necrons, so I was like, yeah, well,
But they're Necrons.
It was like 150 of them took me like 1.5 weeks, or 2 weeks, if that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't. Yeah. They're not satisfying to paint. I think that's what gets me.
I mean, I can appreciate what they've done with the new sculpts with all the extra bits and chips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're just... I think they've done it slightly the wrong... I don't know, because the Necron Warriors did need updating, like, quite badly.
Yeah, they were not good kits.
But, like, they've all got, like, they're all banged up now. So, yeah, I don't know.
Pretzel is reminding me that we also smashed the boss kebab, the boss box. You would love this, Elston. I believe I sent you a photo.
Possibly. Was it a few weeks ago?
Yeah, so just round the corner from our local GW, there is a place called German Doner Kebabs. And it's, so, whether you know or not, the Doner is quite a popular treat over in Germany. They love their Donners.
I've heard this. Also, apparently it's popular in Belgium as well.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this place has what they call a boss box, where you can do a mixed kebab. So that's a mix of chicken, lamb, and beef, I believe. Yeah. With all the usual kind of salady, garnishy gumph. They also do kebab spring rolls. A spring roll with doner meat in it.
Oh, don't tempt me.
If you are ever in this area, I am 100% treating you to one. Because
I'm coming over your way just for that.
they are glorious. Absolutely glorious. And not that expensive either, so.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly aroused.
Well, we'll have to get you to. We'll get you to pop up this way at some point.
Yeah, I'm making the trip up north on the 13th, so I'm gonna go see all our northern pals up there and see what this Murfield miniatures thing is all about. Yeah, and so that's gonna be an interesting little excursion. I've been like loads of different people have been saying to come see them and stuff like that. So yeah. It's going to be a fun little experience, and I might get to see Geek Gaming Scenics and see what Luke's studio looks like, which would be kind of interesting.
Sure, it'll be floating around somewhere up there.
Yeah, I think they need to tie it down every like fortnight or something like that.
Yeah. I might. Is that the 13th? Is that for Pickle's Blood Bowl thing? Is that when he's doing that?
No, unfortunately, Pickle's doing it on the 27th, but I'm going for my works do on the 26th.
Oh.
And I am going to be hanging probably, so unfortunately I've had to not do the Blood Bowl thing.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I would have liked to, but I fully anticipate I'm not going to be compass mentis or able to drive. Is the more important thing.
I was going to say, legally allowed to drive might be the...
Yeah, that's also... without... Also, throwing up in your own lap whilst driving is never a fun experience, and I've done it once, and it's not.
Yeah, just no.
This causes all kinds of problems. So, don't drink and drive literally just for that aspect of throwing up in your own lap. Not fun.
So, I mean, that's a good life lesson for anyone right there.
Yeah, throwing up in your own lap, it really sobers you up and makes you sort of brings you down to earth quite rapidly if you're ever thinking about things, and makes you reevaluate your life choices. How did I end up here in this situation?
I mean, being someone that doesn't drink alcohol, fortunately, I can take a little bit of a higher ground on that one.
But you can.
But I also don't operate first thing in the morning, much like someone who's hungover. So I can't.
Yeah.
Me just being tired is the same as most people's hangover.
Basically, what the moral of the story is, you never want to be in a situation when you're driving and you've got a pile of sick in your lap, because it's not kosher.
It's just not ideal.
No, it's not ideal. Dilemma, and you need to make some choices rather rapidly. And if you can't make those choices rapidly, you need to put up with the consequences, whatever they may be. Which is sick in your lap.
Sick in your lap.
Until the next service stop.
And a really uncomfortable drive for a few miles, yeah.
Speed up just to get.
So, on the subject of drinking, but not of alcohol, have you seen the absolute travesty that is going around Twitter currently in regards somebody's cup of tea?
Right, what is this? What are we talking about? I don't know anything about it. You'll have to get me up.
So Mr. Nick Baton of GW Warhammer Plus painting fame tweeted a picture the other day stating that his ideal cup of tea is the same tone as Carrack Stone by Games Workshop. Now, I don't know about you, but Carrack Stone is very, very bright. It's a very, very shockingly milky cup of tea, which I cannot get behind at all.
Oh, no, that's not right.
As much as Twitter is full of politics and all of that, there's probably been more uproar about his cup of tea than anything else over the last couple of weeks.
Don't blame them. That is a travesty in its own way. Like, what? Anyone that has milky tea, anyone that likes milky tea, again, refer back to sick and lap situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to reevaluate your life choices and realise how you've got there and how to move forward in life. Because
you are severely lacking, if that's the case.
Yeah, like milky tea.
So Pretzel says it should be peanut butter colour. That's how his missus taught him. Completely agree with that. Peanut butter is about perfect.
I go darker.
Okay. Builder's tea.
Yeah, like I'm all for strong tea because that's just. It actually means you're tasting what tea, not water.
Not milky water.
Milky water. Ugh, milky warm water. Ugh, just think of that like that. Milky warm water. Like
It's not good.
It's not cool. Like even a mental image of milky warm water is not.
No, so we've got one of the managers at my work literally will have it, so it's milk, and you just introduce the tea bag to it. Like shockingly white. It's horrific. It's so bad. I refuse to make him a cup of tea for like a good year.
I'm not accepting this. There's people in the world.
And there's monsters.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm an accepting person as well. I like to think I don't judge people by many things. Like, that's not part of my character. Anyone can be anyone and do anything that they want to do. But if you make a milky tea and enjoy it, then oh dear lord,
Then exterminatus.
I literally will unleash a plague upon you. If I was God, That would be the first thing I would get rid of. You'd be like, alright, okay, instead of the floods and Noah and the whole ark thing, let's just annihilate Milky Tea, and then the world would be a much better place. I wouldn't need to do the whole floods and the plague of locusts and all that stuff. We could just get rid of that. And
just that. That's it. I mean, my initial would always have been veganism, but I mean, Spuds kind of ruined that because I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's Spud is like it's one of those people that's done it, and you're like, oh.
It just ruined it for me now.
My friend, I was having fun taking the mick, and now my friend does it, and I can't take the mick anymore because he's my friend.
Oh, welcome to Stream Pickle.
Hi, Pickle.
Dropping in saying that tea should look like He-Man's skin.
I think it needs to be darker.
A little bit darker. A little bit
darker.
I mean, that's coming from someone from Yorkshire as well.
I mean, I'm a little bit disturbed that he used He-Man's skin as a reference.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I have the power
to make shit tea.
Yeah, like He-Man's skin isn't that dark.
No, I mean, I'd be happy with a cup of tea like that. If someone gave that to me, I wouldn't be sending it back.
If He-Man gave me a cup of tea, I mean, yeah.
It could be just milk and I still wouldn't send it back.
Is it breezy with that loincloth? Yeah. Have you watched the new He-Man thing that was on Netflix? Not that they've released 2. There was Revelations. Or was it Revelations? And they've released like a cartoony one recently, but the one before that was done by Kevin Smith, which is like an anime style thing.
Did see that, and it's got a ridiculous cast as well, hasn't it? The people that are in it, like voice actors for it.
Yeah, because there's Mark Hamill Skeletor.
Yeah.
Jay from Jay and Silent Bob is in it as well.
Of course, it was Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
Jason Mewes has to be in it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then there was like Cersei from Game of Thrones. Apologies, I don't know the actor's name.
Lena Headey.
Gotcha. And then the Scottish guy that was from Game of Thrones. I don't know.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Scots in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good because He-Man dies twice. Sorry, massive spoilers there, Ted.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Little bit belated, but
Yeah, it's like He-Man dies twice. Wait, spoiler. Whoops. Yeah, you'll have to watch it to understand what I'm talking about.
I mean, I think it was Bram that told me to watch it. Someone mentioned it the other day in
it's
one of the Discords.
Yeah, one of the Discords.
Many.
All the same people. Yeah, no. One thing to know about it is the first part of a 2-parter, so it is like, yeah. Don't be surprised. Like I was in. It ended. And I was like, you what? And I was like, how? That's not the end. It's
just mid-season. So we've got some coffee drinkers in chat.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
So Pickle says he doesn't drink tea often, but he likes coffee as black as his soul. And then J.R. Pampanin, probably pronounced that wrong, said coffee so dark the light has trouble bouncing off it. I mean, I can't get on board with coffee drinking, but I mean, of an explanation, that's a pretty good one.
Coffee black hole. Well, yeah, I mean, that makes up at least for the He-Man tea. So, yeah, I'll accept that.
I mean, as I say, if someone gave me a cup of tea the colour of He-Man's flesh, I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be mad. I do just like tea, but clearly, the fact that we've spoken about it for about a quarter of an hour now.
Yeah, I'm more like, the more I think about it, the more it disturbs me, because I'm like, so He-Man's skin's like a bronzy skin, so it's like that's kind of verging into the brown territory. It's kind of where tea wants to be.
But Yorkshire tea always has that slightly like reddish tint, anyway, doesn't it?
I don't mind that. I kind of like that. Interestingly enough, like this is weird. My missus bought some organic tea bags, and I was like, oh, they're gonna taste like flowers. And it's actually one of the strongest teas I've ever had.
Okay.
I was like, well done. Well done. This is very good. And even she liked the smell of them. I was like, oh, I'm doing it. So, organic tea. It was, strong as you like.
I think you may have lost your place to stay when you go up to visit Pickle. He said, enjoy the hotel.
I'm gonna have to find a bin to crawl into.
That's right. You've got time to get the credit back again.
I don't think I will. I'm more than likely going to insult him at least 3 more times before I go up there.
But he's used to that, isn't he?
Well, I'd like to think he's used to it, but I've got to be nice to him, and that's the tricky part.
You do have to be nice to him.
Oh, well, he's a good old lad.
Just drop a super chat or something in his stream tomorrow, and it'll be all good.
Oh, he owes me a box of Necrons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that to save you from having to buy something?
No, yeah, kind of, but also, he bet me on my Dana How challenge, if I could get to 4 digits, that he would buy me a box of flayed ones.
Ah, fair enough.
And I hit the 3 digits, and now everyone in the Dana How challenge is like, they had to rewrite the rules because of me. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm not allowed to join in this season, so I'm waiting until next season.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah, I think they like. I honestly think that they thought I cheated, and I'm like, I kind of gamed it, but I also was just me.
You.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's why when I did my video on it, I was like, I had to say, because like my score was like 1,000 and something. People were like, yeah, no, we're not going to let commission painters win this one. And I was like, I did paint 485 models. So I'm not just gaming it.
Yeah.
I did paint that a lot.
I mean, you are speed painting Yoda. And not just in stature. Like, genuinely, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of an all-round statement, isn't it? It's like Yoda, me. There's a lot of similarities going on there. The ears, stature, the knowledge. Well, obviously. I am wise. I am wise.
And I imagine that when you get drunk, you probably talk a bit like him as well.
Mate, it's hard to understand me. It's when I get drunk, it's a really like. You see me when I go a little bit crazy and I go a bit hyper and I talk a lot. Well, that happens, but I'm far more cognizant than like ever, and I will literally be running all over the place, or I'll be sick in my lap
when driving.
So, when driving. Well, in a car at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When napping in the back of a car.
Yeah, just sick in my lap and then I fall asleep. I'm just sick like a weird homeless person.
Yeah, I don't miss drinking. Okay, so I mean, we've talked about alcohol and kebabs and tea. We should probably talk about something wargaming related. You know, kind of.
Alright, what do you want to talk about?
We are here after all. So, for those in the chat that don't know, which is probably not many, Mr. Elston decided at the start of this year to start a New Year's resolution to say that he wasn't going to buy any models. Any models. To this point, as of the 19th of November, I believe that is still the case, isn't it?
Yeah, I was allowed to trade, but I wasn't allowed to
Purchase. So,
yeah.
my question is, we are, what, two and a bit months away from that changing, from that embargo lifting. So what is going to be your immediate go out and I want this model? Because there's got to be something that's nagging away at you, that's eating away.
Yeah, so the one I do want to get, and it's more just because I really love the aesthetics of them, is the War Master Titan for Adeptus Titanicus.
Oh yeah.
I really like when that came out. I was like, you know what? Yeah, like that was like kick to the like boring that one. But that one's on the cards.
I mean, that's a pretty good choice.
Yeah. After that, it might be some of the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. I really do want to get Deadpool. I really want to get Carnage.
Oh yes, yeah.
A lot of the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff because it's just cool.
Yeah.
For Games Workshop wise, I think I'm probably gonna take a visit to Forge World and have a look at something. I have my eye on a few different things, so I might have a look. Maybe something Imperial Guardish to go with my Krieg.
Nice, good choice.
Maybe.
I mean, you've got a limited stock. When we went up there for Pickle's Blood Bowl Bash, there was very little actually in stock in Forge World. Obviously, COVID.
Yeah, I know they've had recently a bit more of a restock on the website, but at the same time, I can see that going out of stock again.
Yeah.
Quite rapidly. So, yeah, I'm not overly 100% sure on what I want to get. It was more, I had an idea. So, I want to do a video on FOMO.
Yeah.
But because I've got a kind of weird perception of it now.
Okay.
I realise it's got limited edition stuff. As far as the trend I've seen this year and how it works with limited edition stuff is never that good in game.
Nope.
It is like a alternate sculpt or something, and that's kind of the pattern they're following.
Yeah.
Alternate build, something like that. So it doesn't really. You're not going to miss out on any game changes or anything like that. The fear of missing out comes from deals, mainly, more than anything else. So, like, big box sets where you're saving some money and stuff like that.
Indomitus. Yeah.
Yep. Dominion, Black Templars thing, Orc Boys one, all that stuff. Hexfire, all these things. And that is more where I think they're hitting people with the phone side of things.
Yeah.
Like, here's where you can save some cash.
But
there's only a limited amount. So you see how quickly they fly off the shelves compared to these things which are
not quite so.
Yeah. So fear of missing out, I find, is more related towards money than anything else. And I think fear of missing out, and this is why Murfield Miniatures, I believe, is doing so amazingly well right now, is because they are FOMO personified. Because they're doing it at such a cheap price that comes in, people don't have to build it, and it's just like,
done.
That deal is too good to pass up. So I've been watching the Facebook page for it, and it's just like, as soon as something goes up, it's like, bing, 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 can I have it?
Yeah.
It's just like, so I need to do a video on it, because that has been my perception, and that's where I've been itching the most is, I know a guy in my local area which is selling a load of stuff. Luckily, he hasn't sold it. And he's like, I spoke to him, and he's like, look, dude, it's cool. I'm in no rush. It's just a thing. And I was like, mate, right, I'll drop you a note on the 1st of Jan, and then I'll come round with a trolley, and I'll just
have it all.
effectively. So, and that was my FOMO, because there were such good deals that were going on. I was just like, I don't want to miss out on that. And yeah, that is where I think FOMO really lies, is with money. Is more than anything, rather than limited edition stuff. Limited edition is, but like store birthdays and stuff like that. I think COVID's kind of changed that now, because you're like, I don't really want to go to a shop with fat, sweaty people anymore if I don't have to.
Well, exactly. Although saying that, I mean, if Pretzel's still floating around in chat, he'll attest to this. When we went back in to our local GW, so the Peterborough one, we went back in for their Thursday nights, which is their Crusade. I'll say Crusade League. They're not really. They're just running like Crusade evenings, so you can just rock up with a 25 power level army, which is what, 500 points ish, there or thereabouts, and just get a couple of games in. And I mean, the last two that I've been to have been absolutely packed, like busier than I ever remember it being pre-COVID. And like Marcus, the guy who runs it, the new manager there, like, he's good, and he is very good, and he's a very nice guy, but to have such a big jump in like the people there, it must be that kind of, we've had COVID and now let's play some games. It's done. Let's get some games in.
That's would you think that's because they want to game rather than purchase?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing good. Like, I think he's doing good business through doing it. Yeah. But still, like, most people there were gaming. Yeah. The odd people like me walk in and then show, ooh, new toys, and end up spending a load of money. I only went there for gaming and a kebab. That was it. And then I walked out with 2 boxes of Incubi.
Kebabs? Oh, fish and chicken kebabs. A Warhammer kebab. Oh. Sigma Bab.
Sigma Bab.
Sigma Bab. That's, yeah. Like AOS or 40k? What kebabs fall under AOS or 40k, do you think? Thinking AOS.
I mean, I feel like if you had something like a sheesh, because then you could style it so you've got like a spear going through all the meat rather than just like a stick. You could literally have like a styled spear going through it.
Yeah, like a custodian spear or something like that. Or
yeah.
If you went Sigma, then you could, like, any spear could be like,
yeah, exactly.
So, okay, so a sheesh is like 40k. Like Donna?
I mean,
pile of meat, isn't it?
I was gonna say, part of me kind of wants to just get a Donna and then like get the elephant's leg, have it round, and just stick like an ogre head on it, because it's already kind of got the like.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I reckon. So I reckon Donna's living in Age of Sigmar land just because it's a pile of.
It's just a lump of meat.
Yeah, it's a lump of meat. It's a lump of meat. So,
kebab for the kebab god.
Yeah. Right. Burgers, I reckon. Burgers are a 40k thing, sure. Right? They're not.
Yeah. Pretzel's commenting that he hasn't been up to this shop for a while, for a few weeks. New baby, fair enough, we can understand that. But he's saying that he's really missing his Donna. Like, we can attest, they are that good. They really are that good. Get yourself up here and I will treat you to one. 100%. That is a promise.
Oh, there's so many reasons to go up north now. So
I'm not up north.
Well, you are for me.
I'm not that far up north. Not even compared to you. I'm just across.
What, are you Peterborough?
It would be Peterborough, yeah. I'm a little bit south of that. South. South.
Like, because Swindon is like, we're like parallel to London.
Yeah.
So if you draw a line left from London, you get Swindon.
Yeah, so not that bad then.
Yeah, this is why most people. But it's like you're one of these Easterlings.
Yep.
It's like you got to travel away to get over there, and I'm one of those Westerlings from Shiretown.
I mean, that is the first time I've been referred to as an Easterling.
Well, I mean, you are an Easterling.
Does that mean I can have an Oliphant?
Yes, you can have an elephant as long as you catch it with your bare hands.
Done.
Let me know when you do it. I want to see. I'll take a photo.
I am really. I need to sit and paint one of those at some point. I keep looking. Well, no. Mumakil, isn't it? They refer to it as.
Yeah.
I love those Lord of the Rings models, and I did them before. Admittedly, I did elves because Eldar and elves just flows.
Yeah.
Also, I'm about to do something that, in the sake of health and safety, I do not recommend this in the slightest.
So,
I am clearing my my plastic glue nib using a lighter.
I do that all the time. It's like, don't breathe in the fumes.
Yeah, it is not good for you. It's not safe, and it's very flammable. So don't do it. But I just did.
You can make a mini flamethrower if you do it right, but just don't point it at you. Like, don't point the muzzle at you, then light it, because it will just singe off any fur on your face.
Pretty much, yeah.
That includes eyebrows. So if any of the women are like, "Yeah, I don't have fur on my face, being a woman," I'm like, eyebrows.
Yeah, eyebrows are gone.
Eyebrows gone. Some women don't have eyebrows though. They tattoo on their eyebrows these days, which is perplexes me.
I find that weird.
Yeah,
I find it very weird.
Especially when they go for the big square caterpillar ones. Like,
HD brows, they refer to them as, and I'm worried. I'm worried that I know that.
Like what? What?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused. Like what? Like this same thing. This scenario happened at one of my old jobs. There were some ladies that were talking about it. They're like, yeah, there's no those ladies are gonna get eyebrows tattooed. I was like, why are you doing that? They're like, because it's cool. It looks good. I was like, nope. And I got in so much trouble from like everyone. And I was like, I don't see what's wrong in saying that like women are just beautiful as they are. They don't need to tattoo on rectangles onto their foreheads.
Don't need to look permanently angry.
Yeah, like, oh look, you look like that guy from American Pie. That's like the Pie Guy's dad. The Pie Guy's dad.
Oh. What's his name? That's going to really annoy me now. Jim's dad.
Yeah, Jim's dad.
Who's in like every single one of them, even the straight to DVD ones.
Yeah, because they basically probably needed a job of some kind.
Yeah. Yep.
Brutal honesty of it. It was weird what happened with all of them as well, didn't it? They kind of all just evaporated after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jason Biggs. I was to say, Jason Biggs had a couple of acting jobs and then just disappeared. And Sean William Scott was the only one that
did something else, and then all the others, yeah.
But I mean, even Sean William Scott, every single one of his roles is basically playing the same character.
Stifler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in Ice Age. He's one of the little possum things.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the possums. Like, I'm sure one of them is Sean William Scott.
I've got to be honest, I've not actually seen Ice Age. Ever.
Any of them?
No.
Oh,
Not. I'm not a massive fan of animated unless it's like Star Trek Lower Decks, stuff like that. That I can get behind. But yeah, animated films generally. I just, yeah. Considering my other half is obsessed with Disney, I mean, that may also be part of the reason why I can't watch them.
I hate Disney. I don't like Disney. I don't like Disney. So, have you watched any of Final Space then? Because that's kind of a little bit like Star Trek Lower Decks.
Not yet.
No.
It has been recommended.
have you watched any of the Orville?
Yes, I love the Orville.
That is like it. I was a little bit weird in the first few episodes. You're a bit like, this is a bit odd, and then
It's so good.
Swing of it, and you're like, okay, because some of it is kind of serious.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, it just switches. And you're like, huh? You're like,
Yeah, it just turns ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like
Oh.
the bit where they find all the earthen artifacts, and they get addicted to smoking.
Yeah. I mean, that character, Bortas, is still one of my absolute favourites. He's so good.
Yeah, all male like race, and they lay eggs.
Yeah.
What?
Right. No, I love the Orville. So good.
So, like, if anyone's not sure about like what we're talking about, if you've got Disney Plus, it's on there now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Ah, I bought the DVDs because I loved it that much. So
Yeah, I wanted to. I was very close to buying it, and then it popped up on Disney Plus. And I was like, oh, winning!
winner. Right. Need to find some hands.
We probably should talk more about wargaming in some essence, but we keep on getting distracted by food and TV.
I was going to say, these are general issues for us, to be fair. Any stream we've done has always been food, tea, or sci-fi dominated.
Cartoons and like silly stuff. Yeah. I mean, I like to think, like, 'cause you know, some people obviously they tune in for the latest gossip on wargaming, but it's so open these days.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you gonna talk about? It's like, oh, they're releasing something new. You're like, okay. Oh, they're releasing something new. That looks cool. Yeah, that's
Okay.
and you're like, okay. And so, I think I'm just getting old, where I'm like, yeah, I've seen it.
Seeing it, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, that I let guys like Valrak do all the breaking of new products and all of that.
Yeah, that's I can't get that excited.
That's his domain.
Yeah, that's him. He does a fantastic job of it as well. But
He does.
it's not my territory.
So, on a subject of that, do you consume much in the way of content, gaming content, or wargaming, I should say, battle reports, stuff like that?
The way you put that, it's like it's
Gaming.
Like
Nah, that's
some kind
gotta
of drug. It's like, do you
consume much.
content?
I mean, to be fair, it can be.
Yeah.
Could be as addictive.
Yeah. So I've gone off battle reports now, unfortunately. Mainly because I think I'm not in touch with the 40k game.
Fair enough.
I haven't really read 9th edition rules. I probably could get into the swing of it if I like read it, and I might get into it a bit more. Majority of my time is spent painting though, so I try to like have stuff which is mainly audio based if I can.
Okay.
I do watch a couple of computer game channels. One called Neebs Gaming.
Okay, yeah.
Which is quite entertaining. It's definitely not for children, but quite entertaining. Just hearing Americans scream at each other. Whilst trying to figure out how to play computer games. They're not the best players in the world, by the way. So this isn't like competitive. They're literally just trying to stay alive most of the time.
I mean, that's how I spend most of my games. I've just got back into doing World of Warships. Have you ever played that?
Yeah.
So, like the World of Tanks. But if you play at the lower levels, so like the real basics, it's fine. But once you start getting up towards the kind of the upper tiers, there is a bit of a skill cap on it. And some of it can be proper brutal.
Yeah, I know exactly, because I played World of Tanks before I played World of Warships. And it is, I know exactly that. The lower levels, I have to say, are more enjoyable.
Yes.
because they are frantic, they're a little bit hectic, and usually what happens is you don't have all the people trying. Like when you get to the higher tier levels, you can see what they're all trying to do,
Yeah.
and you can see what they're trying to pull off, and it becomes a bit of a war of attrition. Whereas in the lower games, it's just chaos. So you're like,
Just
oh,
carnage.
yeah, it's like, oh god, it's going that way. It's like, why is it going that way?
Rush in the base. It's like playing Call of Duty. Rush the base.
Yeah, and then just deal with the aftermath. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's also how I play 40k.
See what happens next.
There's a reason why I play predominantly close combat armies.
That's a wise idea. Like, I'm going to be playing Nids in 9th edition. Once the army. I say Nids are a close combat army. There's a lot of guns in Nids armies now. And I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, during this edition, they've been a shooting army. But that's only because their close combat units have been that poor.
yeah. I'm more just Nids were my first real big 40k army, and I absolutely have this loving passion for them. Where I'm just like, yeah, because if anyone follows the storyline for 40k, basically, Nids are the threat.
Yep.
Like anyone that says, "Oh, Necrons are going to conquer the galaxy," or Orcs are going to do it, you're like, everyone's scared of the Nids.
Yep.
Like, if the Nids get it together, and they do what everyone's afraid that they're going to do, because there's no reasoning with them either. There's no nothing.
No negotiation, no diplomacy, just being eaten.
Yeah, it's like you have to kill these guys. Like, you have to kill them.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's always been fun listening to the lore as it's evolved throughout the years, because there's like bits that it waxed and they waned, and they're the new in, and then they're not, and all this stuff. But it's kind of cool now that they've kind of planted the seed that, like, the Necrons, Silent King, who's about to go away, go off on his little holiday, and then he was like, ooh,
Uh-oh.
oh no, oh no, oh no, go back. I need to get everyone.
I was gonna say, when he is scared of them and fleeing back into the galaxy from whence he came because of them, that's probably a sign they're the big nasty.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll ever evolve the storyline onto the point where they do show up on that en masse, because it'll basically be all the armies.
They can't recover from there.
All the armies versus the Nids, like, and that's it. Just all of them will stop fighting to be like, oh yeah, we gotta go deal with that. Yeah, we can't just leave that alone.
That's they spent what two editions sat at that kind of 10 minutes to midnight on the whole Abaddon Black Crusades sort of stuff, and now they've pushed it beyond that, and all of a sudden now the Nids are looking like the big nasty. But yeah, I can't see him pushing it to the point that that starts happening, because they can't bring it back from there. Like once it happens, it happens.
Yeah, like when that hive walk up, because that's the thing with the Nids. Everyone's been saying that they're like, everything's been like tendrils of them.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, these are just like the feelers.
Yep.
Just like, you're like,
that are destroying civilizations left, right, and centre.
yeah. Like, what happens when the bulk of them shows up? You just like, yeah, it's like they'll never do it. If they do it, that's when like the Emperor gets reborn, the Primarchs will come back.
Yeah.
La 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 la, and Gazgul becomes Super Orc. Like, although he's already Super Orc, but you know.
I was gonna say he's pretty epic now, but
yeah, he's gonna be on, like, you know, they all started talking about those Prime Orcs.
Oh yeah.
That obviously came to be, didn't it, everyone? Prime orcs. So, hey, they got new models, so you can't
Yeah.
on that front. But,
And a really nice new model as well.
yeah, to be fair, those new orcs, I was like, when they released them, I was like, goodbye. I might have a dabble in orcs because they look cool, and squigs.
Yeah.
The best part of orcs is squigs.
I was gonna say I've never been a fan of orcs in 40k. I love them in fantasy. I think they fit really well in fantasy. I've never really liked them much in 40k, but some of those, like, what do they call them? Is it beast snaggers?
Yeah, beast snaggers.
Yeah, some of those, as I say, mainly the squigs, like the bomb squig, just looks ridiculous but brilliant. I could possibly be half tempted.
Have you seen the podcast Adeptus Ridiculous?
No.
Right, go on YouTube. There's a channel called Adeptus Ridiculous. And there's two guys. There's a guy that basically knows what he's talking about, and a guy that doesn't really know what he's talking about. And it's the main thing is the guy who knows what he's talking about telling the guy who doesn't know what he's talking about things.
Okay.
They did a squig. I watched a video the other day, which was a squig tier list, and there was like 30 or 40 different types of squigs that they were listing on there. And it was like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, the great white squig that lands in S tier.
That one.
Next one that landed in S tier was the bagpipe squig.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the hair squig landed in there. I think the gas squig landed in there as well. And it was, and also the squigs that carry cloth, like carry robes for the goblin thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they landed in S tier as well. It was just like, what is going on? This is incredible.
Well, that was the one of my absolute favourite things in old fantasy, so square-based fantasy. I had a very sizable night goblin army. So it was literally nothing but night goblins and squigs. That was it. Squig hoppers, squig riders, squig herders, loads of fanatics, and it was just utter carnage, but hilarious carnage. Like, I won very, very few games using it. But I was going to say, when you did, it was just glorious. Because it was just utter ridiculousness. You got big unit of Chaos Knights charging towards a block of goblins, and all of a sudden these fanatics come flying out. Just, yeah, amazing. But that's I think that's why they fit so well in fantasy. Because it always was a little bit more comical.
Yeah, it's a bit on the like, this is Monty Python almost.
Yeah.
With its elements.
Whether with 40k they kind of want to sell it as a bit more serious, don't they? So it's a bit less.
I mean, they do. Like, I think the orcs capture that more than because the goblins go for more the Gretchens that are just like things they kick about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the orcs have got more of the like silly craziness going on rather than the little guys. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Squig tier list. Go watch it out. Adeptus Ridiculous. Incredible show.
I would definitely have a look at that. I do need a few more podcasts to listen to.
Yeah. What's the one I've been listening to Voldemort recently a bit.
Do love Voldemort.
It's just his voice. It's just
Yeah.
like, good evening, gentle
Good
listeners.
evening.
Oh, it's like milky butter in my ears.
It is made for voiceovers. Like, it's
Yeah.
it is perfect.
Yeah, he's just like, you have got that voice down to a T, mate. Like, and I heard him on he was on a podcast recently with some other people. He doesn't sound like that, like when he's normally talking.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fair play that you can turn on that voice, because that's kind of like, I can put on a posh voice for a little while, and it
But not.
works for a little bit of time, but to do it for a long period of time is really quite strenuous. Because you have to fluctuate the way you say things. And it's really weird Like, but he's got.
He manages it.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, you're allowed that many subscribers. I'm allowed that. That's
Yeah, I mean, he 100% deserves the success that he's had. I think between him and Wolf Lord Rowe, he's the other one that I really like.
Yeah.
And he does some really good content. Really good.
Yeah.
Again, he's got that kind of... It's not quite as good as Voldemort's, but he's got a voice-over voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's as you say, not quite as good. And Voldemort, I don't. Does Wolf Lord Rowe? Does he put in his own stories from time to time?
Yes, I believe so. I've heard a couple of his that seemed a bit more... I think a lot more of his is more like explanations.
Gotcha. Rather than
fiction.
Voldemort is more on the storytelling.
Yeah.
What it reminds me of, did you ever watch the Jim Henson's The Storyteller?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like kind of like that essence is what I get from Voldemort. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of when I was a kid and you had the fireside stories.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. It's, I'm a big fan of Voldemort.
Have you ever seen his Alpha Legion video? So he does one on the Alpha Legion, and obviously leads into it with a story that he's written. And it was probably that one that got me, like, really got me into watching his stuff. And it's the story of Adeptus Arbites trooper. I think probably the easiest way of putting it. Who, I mean, spoiler alert, is a sleeper cell, but he's basically gets tasked to hunt down Alpha Legion operatives, and he's like complaining about it, and then he's sat there looking at all these like interrogation logs. Then all of a sudden something clicks in him where he's read what they've all said, and it's almost like a catch like sentence that then engages. It's so well done. Like that should be GW. Like that should be a book. It's just
because they've done stuff like that with the Horus Heresy stuff, when all those sleeper like agents and stuff start popping up on Terra, but they're like actual buried people. If I remember rightly. There's people buried in the ground.
Essentially, sent Space Marines in barrels.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're like they've been planted there for they have no idea.
Years, yeah.
And you're like, oh, so Alpha Legion were always prepared for this kind of thing.
Well, I was gonna say the bit that always fascinated me on that one is that where they set them up, and like it describes it in a, I can't remember what's it. It's the one where it's one with the Battle of Pluto. I can't remember what book it is now. Praetorian? Is it Praetorian Adorn?
It might be I thought that was the first Siege book with the Pluto battle.
No, it's there is one prior to the siege. It's where basically, again, massive spoiler alert, where Alfarius dies, where Dawn gets him. So, and they explain about it and about the operatives, and that they've all been given slightly different missions, some of which work against each other. So one guy's mission will stop someone else from carrying out theirs, so that no one, even them, actually know what the end game, like end mission is. And I said that is just so utterly ridiculous that it works perfectly for them.
Yeah, Alpha Legion's like, okay, I'm just going to create a massive confusion here, and let's see what the outcome brings.
Yeah, let's make a massive mess and see what's left at the end. Lupus Canis, our resident Space Wolf fan, has just popped into chat as well. Obviously, won't be happy with us talking Alpha Legion, but I've just never been able to get into the Space Wolves. I did enjoy doing my video. I enjoyed doing my tutorial, but
I've had issues with getting into Space Wolves. They just like I enjoyed the William King books. Did you ever read the Space Wolf omnibus?
no.
Right. So, the first omnibus, awesome. Second omnibus goes a little bit out there.
Okay.
Goes a little bit out there. So, Ragnar gets sent back to Earth to hang out with the watch guards on Terra,
Okay.
and it's I don't know why. So there's basically a pristine space wolf with a straight cut mustache and shorn hair and proper neat and proper. And
Right.
it's okay, it's weird. And then there's a fat space wolf.
Okay.
No joke. They're they've had to extend his arm out because he's so fat. And he's constantly drinking, constantly, and to the point where he's actually drunk a lot of the time.
Which is quite impressive for a Space Wolf.
Yeah. It's really kind of surreal that they do this, because it's like Ragnar, this posh dude, and a fat space wolf go around kicking ass, and you're like, I don't really know what to make of it. It's quite entertaining, but it's really
Random.
a bit of a far out there one.
I mean, I do really like the idea of a fat space marine. I quite like the idea of converting one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, a fat space marine. It's I can't remember his name, but yeah, if you read the books, there's a fat space marine.
Big old barrel chest and a Eddie Hall bodybuilding power belly on him as well.
Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't say it's Bob Hoskins kind of level. It's more it's definitely more if I would say anything, yeah, it's just power belly.
Yeah.
You're like
Mason.
That belly is massive, but if I punched it, it would be like punching a brick wall.
I was gonna say, it'd just be utter solid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, my issue with Space Wolves was always through everyone raved about burning a Prospero,
Okay.
and I could not finish it.
Really?
Hands out, could not finish it. I loved the Thousand Suns side of it, which was A Thousand Suns, wasn't it? The book. But it's the way that the Space Wolves talk in it.
Yeah,
It's
they're very different.
yeah, I know. I know why they do it, and I understand why they do it. It's to give them that kind of Viking feel, almost, isn't it? But it's the phrases like "murder make" instead of "war," things like that just really wound me up.
Yeah.
I felt like I was reading a book of 10-year-olds.
And they're all called the Rout, and they refer to themselves as the Rout rather than the Space Wolves and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
Son of Tra and stuff like that. It's all, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that because that was Dan Abner that wrote that one, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure he was just like, how can I mess with this?
As I say, it's one of the few books that he's written that I can't get into. Hands down, he is one of my favourite writers. But, yeah, just couldn't. Same as Mortis. The Siege.
Didn't get on with Mortis.
I can't. So I've got 2 hours left, I think, on the Audible of it. I'm really struggling to get through it. Really struggling to get through it.
Yeah, it's not one I focused on a lot. I was doing a lot of things whilst it was going on. Because it's a lot of Titan Legions doing this, doing that, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's good. The endings are good, and there's some They say there's some plot twists and stuff like that, but I can't remember what they are. Oh no, there is. Oh yeah. There's a big old thing with old person.
Oh yeah. The perpetual.
Yeah. There's a big old thing about him. I don't really want to throw spoilers out because that's a relatively new book.
I was gonna say that is quite new.
Yeah, it's kind of harsh if I tell people what happens in that one. But yeah, they're like, it's more like that. That one feels like that's setting something up. Anything else?
Yeah, which I think a lot of people are saying that Warhawk, the one that's following it, has been quite good. I've got a couple of friends who are halfway through it, and they're really enjoying it. So
I've got that one on order, but I need to knuckle down and do some listening to that.
Yeah.
I've switched gears and started listening to some. Well, I tried listening to The Infinite and the Divine.
Oh yeah.
The Necron one.
Yeah. That's the Trazyn.
Yeah, Trazyn and or something. I don't know. Or something. And they basically just keep on nicking this one artifact off each other, and they keep on doing different things. Like, there's a bit. It's just like they're on a Ghost Ark, they're on an Eldar. Dinosaur people. What are they called?
Exodites.
That's it. They're on an Exodite world. They're having a big old fight with them, and they're like basically they're in the middle of this fight, this big war going on. They're trying to like scrabble and grab this thing off each other, and there's a point where Paul goes to grab it, and Trazyn just hits the accelerator button on the Ghost Ark and jumps, and it just rams into the side of this like brachiosaur, and just plows him into it. And you're like, okay, it's just this weird like squabble.
Yeah.
Necrons where they just keep on doing weird things to like nick this artifact off each other. It's when you're reading it, it doesn't sound that funny, but when you think back on it, you're like, this entire thing is just him nicking it from him and him nicking from him, and it's really it's quite a strange thing. What else did I listen to after that?
So we've got a bit of a discussion going on in chat here with Lupus and JR Pampanin again.
Okay.
Regarding the usage of white metal models and as to whether they can be flung at the enemy. I will say I went to a tournament probably a couple of years pre-COVID, and one of the guys there, I'm really glad I wasn't playing against him. Really glad that I was about 3 tables away, because he absolutely lost his shit at losing, obviously. Picked up his opponent's Leviathan Dreadnought and sent it across the room. Yep. So, fortunately, the Leviathan hit a wall rather than hitting anybody, but obviously shattered into many pieces. Said gentleman got a red card from the tournament, got kicked out. After calming down a little bit, did offer to pay for the Dreadnought, which I think is probably only right. Yeah. But honestly, I've never seen anything like it in a tournament as well. Just, yeah.
That's where any of you gamers just want to win. Just take a second.
Just take a breath.
It's just a game.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all it is.
It was also like game. I think it was game 2 in a 5-game tournament. So it's not like it was like right at the end where everything starts meaning a bit more. Like, he's still in the first bracket at that point. Like, just no.
No. Yeah, some people just don't know how to control themselves. It's just what I'm learning out about humanity as I get older. And there's some people in this world They probably should not go outside.
Yeah. Or be allowed outside.
Be allowed outside. Or, like, you mean if you're allowed outside, just don't talk to anyone. Definitely don't interact in the game sense. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's the people that join in your conversation when you're talking to a friend, and obviously it's a private conversation.
Mm.
But you're in a shop for whatever reason, and they overhear, and obviously they're looking intently at a wall. They're actually listening to you, and then you say something wrong, and they join in.
Well, actually,
and you have this odd moment where you look at your friend, you look at the person, you look at your friend, and you think, did that guy just join in our conversation?
Yeah.
Do you know him? Shall we deck him? And it's, all these emotions go through in about a handful of seconds, and you just end up staring at him going,
huh?
And then you kind of just turn your head to be like, okay.
So.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So read the room, people.
Yeah.
Read the room.
So J.R. Pampanin said it's not that his butt got kicked all day. No, it didn't get kicked all day. He won his first game and then heavily lost his second and still catapulted a Leviathan across the... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was playing... he's just commented, did you see what he was playing against? He was playing against Iron Hands, so... I could give him a little bit of allowance for that, but still... No.
Not a Leviathan.
No.
No. That's, I mean, he's lucky that he didn't get walloped, because that's, you're like, mate.
Thing is, it's not even, like, for me, it's not even the cost of it. Like, if someone threw my Celeste across a room, that's going to break. Like, it is that fragile. That will 100% break. I'm not fussed about the price of it. It's the hours that I've spent building and painting and prepping it and all of that. Yeah. That's what would hurt. Like, that would be what would really wind me up. But
yeah, you'd have to fix it all and then paint it again. So you'd be like, okay, you can pay for a model and then pay for my time.
Yeah.
And then, all right. So okay, it's going to take me 4 hours to fix this. It's £20 an hour.
Yeah, I'll charge you my commission rate to fix it.
Commission rate is £30 an hour. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah, don't touch other people's stuff, man.
Yeah.
Don't touch their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it was his, like, if it was his dreadnought, then, okay, fair enough. But still, I mean, still shouldn't be catapulting it across a room when there's other people there. But...
I think you should catapult a mini across the room full stop.
It's not criminal damage.
No. Just, like, why? Yeah. Oh, again, one of those people that probably should not be allowed outside.
I think Lupus has found the way to deal with it. He's just put, I once had a game where my opponent slammed his hand down on my historical spear unit. What a shock he got when he realised I'd replaced his spears with piano wire. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
If you can get these ones for stock minutes where it's actually like copper pipe, like copper rod, and they've like flattened the end and made them actually into points. So they're actual spears, effectively that bit.
Ooh.
They're like raised. They're really sharp. I've got a couple of them, but yeah, they are. Like if you slammed in that, that's going into you.
Are they spears or are they shish kebab sticks?
I mean, they're probably sturdier than shish kebab sticks. They're stronger by a long...
Less greasy.
Yeah. Sharper. Ooh, it's just for thought.
I'm getting hungry now. Which is not good for 9:30.
No. It's not the time you really want to be eating.
No. Right, I've got 8 heads to put on Daemonettes, and then I have all finished these. So if you're good, are you happy to carry on
Yeah,
until we...
Yeah, we'll do that once you've done your 8 heads, and then I will probably need to go collapse and pass it.
I was going to say, I think you need the sleep, don't you?
I do indeed. It's I managed to power through. I'm quite I told my missus, I was like, I'm gonna do a stream. She's like, really? I was like, oh, I need to be kept awake. Since like with her, bless her, I'll sit and relax with her and stuff and watch it, and I'll be out by 8 o'clock, and then
Yeah.
the whole panel gets screwed up. So bless her, she let me come up here and have a chat with you, which is I'm eternally grateful for.
I mean, send her my thanks.
I will indeed.
Always like having the company, so...
Yeah. Also, as well, anyone that's watching that doesn't know as well, there are a couple of other members of the Chillin' Wargamers. If you don't know, Chillin' Wargamers are as part of the group I'm of, and Rich is as well. It's all very, like, I want to say low-key. It's just... like...
Low-key? Is that a joke?
Unintentional, but I will claim it.
For context, 2 members of the Chillin' Wargamers both have pets called Loki.
Weirdly enough, one of them is female.
Yep.
Like, that's not just me. Loki's a boy's name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as I was like, when he said it's a girl, I was like...
For me, it's a boy's name. But, you know, 2021 and all that.
Yeah, I don't identify as a male cat. I identify
As a cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you were saying, Chillin' Wargamers.
Yes, before I go on to identity crisis. Yes, Chillin' Wargamers. So there's other people that do streams and stuff like that, so if you want to check them out. We have Pickle doing his stream tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the channel called The Pickle Jar, so go check that out. He's doing a giveaway for the Black Templars Army.
He is indeed.
So go check that out if you want a chance to win with that. On Thursday, we've got Chillin' Wargames, which I will be on there with Spud. Pickle may be joining us, as he's busy on video stuff this week, so possibly.
Yeah.
Then we have on Friday night, we have Kev, Hobby Corner Kev, and possibly myself. I started doing stuff in the evening, like the hour of finishing work. I call it like the wind down.
Okay.
Hour. So it's between like 4, 5, and 6 on a Friday afternoon. Kind of allows people to, instead of traveling back or winding down for the week, they can listen to me talk about whatever, and I'll be doing something. I'm not sure what. The Hobby Corner Kev will be on at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, he's pushed it back now, hasn't he? He's going later.
Yeah. Then at about 2:30 in the morning on Saturday morning, if you're UK, if you're America, I think it's like 8 p.m. Central. I think. We've got Crossing Fists. They do their show.
Yeah.
And then Monday evenings we've got Ravensbrook. I don't know what time he actually starts. I think it's like between 7 and 8.
I was going to say it's about 7:30, and then Kev follows on, kind of.
Does his thing after that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Chillin' Wargamers, there's videos that come out intermittently as and whenever, so you'll see those as well. But that's just a live stream schedule. And yeah.
All the content, non-stop wargaming, and kebabs and tea and.
Also, as well, this talk of food. It's not uncommon.
No.
It happens more than probably what should happen.
No, I mean we are the common instigators of that. I think any stream I've been on of Chillin' Wargamers has inevitably led towards that sort of chat as well.
Yeah, food is a thing.
Food is life.
Food is life. I'm a big. I shout and scream about food a lot. So yeah. Yes, it should be sung about. It should be praised, and we should talk about it more because food
keeps us alive.
yeah, wargaming can get a bit hot and heavy sometimes. So, food.
Yeah.
Food is the thing that unifies us and brings us together.
Apart from Spud.
Apart from Spud, he's a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do anything with that.
No.
Nothing can be done. It's just...
So, Mr. Elston, obviously you've advertised everyone else, but you have a channel.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do stuff.
You actually do videos as well.
I know. I do videos. I do live streams. I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I have my own channel. It's called Elstonation. So if you can remember that, go check it out. I do a little bit of everything. I'll do tutorials from time to time. I will do just random talking videos. Usually, in some way, form, it's some kind of project that I've been working on. And I would love to say that I'm tailored towards a specific liking. However, I'm not. I am just doing whatever I feel like whenever, and it's usually wargaming related in some essence. But sometimes I will talk about wargaming philosophy and stuff like that, and sometimes I will talk about how many minis I've painted because I'm insane.
You are speed painting Yoda.
Oh, that's a point. I should ask you as well. January this year just gone. I did a challenge with Pickle on speed painting a Blood Bowl team.
Ooh, okay.
Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
So I'm thinking of opening it up a bit more this time because I'm going to see if Pickle wants a rematch, and I will allow him. But I may allow other contenders in on this as well. So I'm going to look around the network and see who might want to be involved in this. And it'll basically be, I think we did it in 9 hours last time. To do an entire team, you can pick whatever team you want, but it's like a GW box set basically. I mean, it could be another team altogether if you've got another company or whatever.
Something appropriate.
Yeah, a Blood Bowl team, effectively, just to keep it on kind of theme, but it doesn't have to be specifically GW. I'm going to see if we can get a few more people involved in that, because I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I am definitely up for that.
Sweet, cool. We shall it usually lands on a Saturday, and we'll probably kick it off at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it's a 12-hour stream. Well, it's not a 12-hour stream, it's a 12-hour challenge. It doesn't have to be a stream the whole way through, because we found it was just like but it'll be a 12-hour challenge. You start at 8, all the combatants go, and then I think I'll see if I can get someone to organise and orchestrate the live stream so that the painters can literally just jump onto the live stream rather than have to faff around with
messing around the stream. Yeah.
Tech stuff as well. So we'll figure out who, what, where, when.
Makes sense.
And yeah, so and the other thing I'm going to be doing is sometime just after Christmas, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour paint challenge for myself to see how many Tyranids I can paint in one hit.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and paint my Tyranid army.
So these the aliens inspired.
I'm going to try and see how many I can box off in one hit. So that's the idea. It'd be cool if I could do the entire army. So I've got 24 hours to try and pull off. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to probably do it for charity as well. So
okay.
I'll try and probably a stream involved, but I will have more details on that. So and we will have guests, obviously, like whoever is available on that day.
Just to keep you going more than anything. Keep you awake.
Pretty much, yeah. Be like, okay, alright guys, go. Spud said he could probably help out. Hopefully Pickle will be about if you want to join in.
I'll jump on for a bit.
Cool. It's basically open to the network, and the cool thing is, because I'll be crossing into the Australian and the American time zones, hopefully I can talk to them as well.
Frost and Fist, Mythos will join in, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully so. And yeah, I don't know what they're like with their family holidays and stuff over Christmas, but I shall. That's an idea of something which should be coming up in a couple of months.
Okay, so I've now finished these. So if you're happy, we will wind up now. So for those of you that are left in chat, go follow Elston. Where can you be found?
You can find me on YouTube called Elstonation, on Facebook Elstonation Minis, Instagram Elstonation. I think I've not bothered with Twitter or TikTok because they become a T. Yeah, you can find me there. Either that or I'll be hanging around somewhere with the wargamers and the rest of the slot somewhere, so you can find me there.
One of the many Discord servers.
Yes, many Discord servers.
Okay, so for me, obviously, you can find me on the YouTube, which you're currently watching now. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please do hit it. I am going to try doing this every Tuesday again. It was a little bit of a push to try and get the hours in, being the fact that I work shift pattern does mess it up a little bit, but we're going to go for it now. Have got a Discord server, obviously, because everyone does now. Link is possibly down below. If I've not put it down below, I will do. It needs to be in there. But you can find me there. I will quite happily chat away, answering questions. Anything you want me to bring up, any videos you want to suggest to me, I'm always happy to take on. Elston, have you got a video coming up by any chance?
I need to
put you on the spot.
Yeah, I do. I've got one I need to film and get edited, hopefully in the next couple of days, because I need to update everyone on what my yearly challenge has been happening.
Yes.
So that should be a little while, and you'll see how much money, how many minis, money value I've painted this year. So, yeah.
Which is going to be a big figure by now, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit of a twist to it because I've tweaked my plan to try and adjust the figure. I'll explain it. It makes sense.
Okay then, so thank you for all watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed us talking about random food, tea, sci-fi TV. Basically most of mine and Elston's streams. Probably why we shouldn't do a podcast, really. It'd never be wargaming related.
I think we should definitely do a podcast. We can come up with some brilliant things. Just food recipes.
Wargaming food.
Yeah.
No one's done that before.
Yeah.
Alright then, guys. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.